Hey guys, what is up? It's your boy Bmanny, and today I want to just talk about my current mastery build, and I'm going to go over my suicide build as well as just my day-to-day, what I feel is more of a sustainable mastery build for me. So when I run suicides, let's just jump right into it. When I run suicides, I know that a lot of times I'm going to be, getting down below. We're going to start here at the far left. I know I'm going to be getting down below 50% health, so I do like to have courage max to give me that extra 20% boost. Of course, liquid courage max, double edge maxed, and then I like to run 4 out of 5 on my bleeds. I have a lot of bleed champs, Winter Soldiers, L1, L2, L3, World War II Cap, his level 2, and of course Gwenpool. She's bleeding constantly, so if I'm going out in quests, especially chapter 5.2, bleed champs have do a really good job, especially through the first, I think it's 2 or 3 where you can only do damage with a special, so bleed champs really help add up the damage there. And then so that's pretty basic in terms of attack. For my defense, I do like to run, of course, max salve, max recovery, max block proficiency, and I do put 3 points in perfect block because that extends my stun duration, or at least helps it anyway. I'm not really sure of the exact amount, but I know that your stun duration increases with perfect block chance, so I like to put my points in there. So I get 15 over to the left so I can open up willpower, max hit, and I do like to max coagulate. That way these are suicides are more stable. With a rank 4 5-star, I'm losing under 5% health just from the bleed, and then the poison pretty much levels out. So for my utilities, of course, I don't have enough points for like Mystic Dispersion and stuff, so it's pretty basic, you're 1-1-1 in terms of being able to parry and then being able to have dexterity. And I like 3 points here in Stupefy because that's what's giving me that additional time for my stuns. So if I do decide to run suicide masteries like in AW, then your Alliance War, if you're going up against somebody that has max limber, then there's a pretty good chance that you're still going to be able to parry them, get your hits in before, basically making them not just completely stun immune. So today I'm going to also show you now, we're going to go ahead and reset everything because I do want to go back to more stable build, because for me, I just can't seem to survive with suicides through Alliance Quest. I tried to run them here in day 3 and 4 in map 5, and day 3 was fine. Day 4, I did, take out both minis, but it kind of wore me down, and then, not being able to use specials once I got into section 3, it kind of knocked me out, and I'm really not trying to revive today. A bunch of my teammates got a lot of health left, so I'm not too concerned about it. But normally when I run my normal build, yeah, my fights take a little bit longer, but usually going into section 3, I've got 2 to 3 champs fully left. So let's go in and we'll just rebuild, and I'll show you exactly what I like to do. We'll just recover all these points, and we can go ahead and start in the offense. It's going to take a minute, so we'll probably just go ahead and speed this process up. Okay, so we'll go back here to offense. I do like to run courage still. Of course, over the term of a Alliance War or Alliance Quest, you're going to be down below 50% health, so getting that 20% attack boost is always nice. I do like to run 5 out of 5 deep wounds and 5 out of 5 assassin. Really helps finish off fights, extend those bleed timers, especially with someone like Gwenpool who can incinerate, innervate, which is like a power lock from your attacks, and her armor break with her L3, it resets by consuming a bleed, so the longer those bleeds last, the better your chance of having it consume a bleed and reapply itself is. And plus, it does 1% of their max health once they have less health than you as well. And for defense, it's pretty standard. I do like max salve, max recovery, and max block proficiency. Some people, on the salve, I've run the numbers on it, and you're going to be getting over 500 health as long as the fight lasts a minute. You're going to be getting over 500 health per fight. Let's say in Alliance Quest you're going to do, let's just say 10 fights. More than likely it's more than that, probably closer to 15. But at 10 fights, that's 5,000-6,000 health. You're going to be regenerating every go, which is over half of your champ's life more than likely, or at least, you know, roughly half. So I really like that. I'm not a fan of willpower just because it takes so many points to get to an unlock, and I think that those points can be better used in your utilities here. So I do like the max parry, not necessarily for the stun duration increase, but for the damage reduction. 25% versus if you just did one, it's 15%. So I'm taking 10% less damage every time I parry. Of course, long fights, you're going to be parrying a lot, especially against the computer, you know, the AI. When you're fighting, I do like 3 out of 3 stupefy still, so you can increase that stun duration. I put the 1 point here in petrify. I've had it up to 3, and you know, it's really personal preference. I'm not really about the health reduction, because a lot of times if you parry somebody in war and they've got willpower, it actually, because you're stunning them, it's a debuff and they regen more anyway. So I'm not too concerned about the reduction in health. The power gain, I'm kind of on the fence about. However, I think that the points that I'm putting here in pacify now have been excellent. I run across a magic every AQ in map 5 in the second section, and yesterday I ran suicides and I didn't have any points in pacify, and she proc the limbo every single time she had a bar power. When I have this pacify mastery on, I make sure to stun her before I push her over, and I mean, literally, I know it's a 30%, you know, ability reduction, but it seems much higher than that. I've had whole fights where she didn't get a limbo once, because I was able to stun her prior to pushing her over to that next bar power. And then of course, Mystic Dispersion, I love it, 5 out of 5. I only have one Mystic Defender, and that is my rank 4 5-star magic, and so it benefits her greatly. But I do love to use Dr. Voodoo, and I also love to use my Scarlet Witch. So that mastery is wonderful, 5 out of 5 all day long for me. And then Science Detect, I do like to be able to see when I'm getting ready to go up against a Science champ in war. Then most of the time I won't use a Mystic champ if I'm bringing in Voodoo or Scarlet Witch. I'll use somebody else, either Gwenpool or Winter Soldier, depending on who it is that day. So anyway, this is my normal day-to-day build. It really gets me through a lot of stuff, low item usage with my champs, and hope it, you know, kind of helps give you guys some ideas of what you can do to help build your masteries up, strengthen up your roster. There's tons of things you can do here. You know, if you, instead of courage, you know, which is 20% boost, if you wanted to give your champs 7.2% attack all the time versus just, you know, when they're under certain amounts of health, you can always max glass cannon. Once again, that's a mastery I've used plenty of times, and I don't know, I just, since the update, I like more health. And this build has been very sustainable for me, which is part of the reason why, you know, I do the salve and recovery and the block proficiency. Pre 12.0, I literally put 0 points in defense. I didn't even worry about this stuff because the way the game was, but everything is of course changed. So I do like these masteries now. And here, once again, this is a really solid build. You can play around with different things. If you don't necessarily like pacify, you can you know put more points in your limber for reduced stun duration. For me, it's not really for me. It'd be more about for my defenders on war, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that either, because if somebody runs this build and you go up against somebody with max limber, it's not going to matter anyway, because you're still going to be stunning them and you're still going to be able to get your hits in. Unless it's like a rogue. She's the only one that'll shake it off so fast that you pretty much have to intercept or bait specials. Petrify, once again, great mastery. I did a short video on it recently, but anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Maybe learn a little bit about your own style of play, how I like to play the game, and until next time, we will see you on the battlefield. Take care.